T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to US ARC and all US ARC members. If you don't know what US ARC is, don't be ashamed. Just go ahead and click the third link in the description below. See what US ARC is all about, okay? You never know when legislations are going to hit your backyard, so that's why it's very important to consider becoming a US ARC member today. These numbers really do matter, and they look at it for consideration when it comes to battling legislation. So first and foremost, thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to anybody out there who partners up and volunteers with US ARC organization. Thank you for anyone out there who's a US ARC member. And if you can't become a US ARC member today, please talk about it on your platforms. Let your neighbors know, let all your pet stores know what US ARC is here for, and it's here to fight for our animal rights. Thank you to every US ARC member and US ARC supporter out there. True.
All right, Trap Talk Reptile Network, the coolest reptile network in the world. This is Crystal with the Girls Who Love Reptiles podcast, episode 62. Hope you're all having a great Sunday, kind of switching things up, doing it the morning. I had some work stuff come up that I had to do this afternoon, but I'm glad we're able to do in the morning. I'd be kind of interested to see, the traffic and flow and see if people maybe like the morning shows better. We'll just have to see, but nonetheless, really excited to have Jordan on. She's going to talk about her just interest and her history with reptiles, as well as her work in the rehab. And she's worked a little bit with an exotic vet. So you guys know my veterinary background. So I think it's going to be a great and awesome, amazing conversation. Hopefully we can learn some things from. So if you're new here, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below on what you learned. And if you're wanting to join a Patreon, there's a link down below to join the Trap Talk Patreon network. I highly recommend. It's been very beneficial for me in my reptile journey and networking. So with that, we will do some sponsors. So we have ReptiCo, the official sponsor of the Girls Who Love Reptiles podcast. We have Channing. She's the daughter of Billy and Dawn Rice from Rice Reptiles, starting her own reptile business with high-end, high-quality crested geckos and hognose snakes. So if you're not following them, go follow them on Instagram under official ReptiCo. She's also a MORPH market, of course. And follow the Rice reptile family as well, both on Instagram and YouTube. They're putting out great content every single week. And then, of course, we have Mark Bailey with Mark Bailey Reptiles, one of the OGs in the ball python games, but has also become a personal friend of mine. So really highly respect him. He's a great mentor and overall great, just down to earth person. But again, one of the best sponsors on this show. And we appreciate Mark and everything he's done for the Trap family. And of course, we got Brian Susan from SUNDOWN Reptiles, one of the best breeders when it comes to kahua geckos. And of course, he's in the tree monitors as well. I've always have some of his production behind me when it comes to the kahua geckos, but really look up to him as far as a friend and breeder. So again, if you are interested in keeping those species, definitely reach out to him. And then, of course, we have Blake from Blake's Exotic Feeders here. So if you're feeding quail to your reptiles, reach out to Blake. Tell him the Trap Talk Reptile Network sent you, and he'll get you set up. And then we'll go ahead and finish it off with Clutch. So Clutch, of course, is an interface to organize all of your ball python breeding projects and keep things organized, be able to contact other breeders on there, be able to print off IDs and stuff for your animals, and just keep everything just well organized and be able to plan things out and make things easier for the breeding and keeping process. So they're also very amenable to changes and making things the best that they can for their customers. So again, reach out to Clutch with any questions or suggestions that you have. And with that, we'll add Jordan onto the stage and we'll get started. Good morning. How's it going?
Good morning. It's going well. How's it going with you?
Pretty well. How's your weekend been going?
Oh man, it's been going.
Been pretty busy?
Just a little bit, but it's fine. How was yours?
Pretty good. It was a lot of fun yesterday. Went to like a guitar store, played around with some guitars. I'm getting a guitar for Christmas, so just kind of like playing around on some, seeing which ones I liked. And then we saw Zootopia 2,
Okay.
the movie, which I thought was really good. I mean, I liked the first one, but I like it. So yeah.
Okay. Well, can you play guitar?
I used to when I was a kid. Yep, I played. I was kind of self-taught, and I took lessons. Haven't really since like high school. But my boyfriend is teaching me how to play again, so he's getting me one so we can play together and stuff like that. So I'm getting kind of back into it. So yeah,
Kind of exciting.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It really work's been extremely stressful the past several weeks, so it kind of really helps me like get my mind off that and be able to think about something else for a bit. So it's like really therapeutic that I've been doing. So
Yeah, you need to have it to balance the chaos.
yeah, I mean the reptiles are too, but you don't. I mean, when you're like cleaning and stuff, you don't have to like think that much. So I still find
Right.
myself thinking about like work, but this I really have to concentrate on concentrate on a lot more stuff. So yeah, super cool. So where are you located at?
So I am in Indiana, but I work out of Louisville, Kentucky. So in this general area of southern Indiana and upper Kentucky, I'm everywhere.
Okay, small world. I was born in Indiana.
Oh yeah, part.
Most of my life. I was born in Indianapolis, but I grew up around Bloomington.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just north of Bloomington. So
Yeah, that's about an hour-ish from me.
yeah, okay. That's not really not too. I went to high school at Martinsville High School, so that's where kind of I grew up
Okay.
at. So yeah,
I think I've heard of them.
yep. Small rural town. Small
Yeah,
rural.
but I
Yeah,
like the small towns.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
fun. They've got a lot
They're
of character.
They do a lot of history. So yeah, okay. So cool down in southern Indiana. So kind of give us like your background on, what's first sparked your interest in reptiles and, your transition to what you do now.
Oh man. So, I mean, I've been in the herpetological field for 22 years now. So I jumped in whenever I was like 8 years old.
Oh
I
wow.
started with African dwarf frogs. Those were really my thing for a while. And then I got my first turtle when I was 10 years old. And from there, I went ballistic and focused on turtles. And then as I got older, I started leaning more towards lizards and then cats. And then back to turtles. So um, I've always been involved in the reptile field and the herpetological field. And back in 2017, I started seeing like the medical side of the herpetological field and the lack thereof. And so
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to jump in there and see what I can do. And I've been crazy busy ever since because there's just not enough resources and not enough people who really dabble in that side of the herp field.
100%. Yeah, I can attest to that as a vet. A lot of my reptile friends will DM me and be like, "I have this. How do I treat it?" So there is a huge need on the medical side. Why that is, I think there's still sort of a negative connotation towards reptiles just as a societal whole. I mean, vets, you're talking about us, so we love animals, but there's still, that little bit of a negative connotation even within animal lovers about them too.
Oh
I
yeah,
got
I've worked with veterinarians before who were terrified of snakes, refused to see anything besides a dog and a cat. And I'm like, you're
yeah.
boring. I gotta get out of here. That does not work for me.
Yeah. Yep, that's part of it. And then like our board exams, they only really focus on your large animals and your dogs and cats. So there's really no like desire to learn about the exotics that much. Like we talked backstage in vet school, I think I got one reptile lecture, and it was an elective class of exotics in general. And then reptiles was one lecture of that class that was an elective. So if you think about that, like that's very minimal. And that's all the reptiles in one lecture. So
Yeah, that's enough. That's no, not enough at all.
And I think that's why it's important people looking for reptile care. They try to find, like, what are your thoughts on what should somebody do if they're trying to find a vet for reptiles if there's no like specialist? I guess I don't know. It's difficult.
I hate to say Google it, but honestly, if I can't find one, I will Google and be like, okay, who is around here?
Hmm.
Who claims to have some type of background? And then from there, I'll kind of weed them out and kind of see, okay, what kind of reptile are you dealing with? Are you just talking about a basic snake, or are we kind of getting more involved in like certain lizard species and turtles? Because there's certain drugs that snakes can have, but turtles can't have. And so making sure that the veterinarian knows how to treat both is really important. That way they don't accidentally give an animal the wrong type of medication.
Yeah.
So just
Yep.
research, and I hate to say Google, but I love me some Dr. Google. It helps me track down who I need to talk to.
Yeah, it can be helpful, or at least get you like where there's forums, like there's, some exotic forums on there where vets can chime in and everything like that. That
Yeah.
probably would be helpful. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the best bet because there's like, yeah, I've seen people where they'll take it to a vet, they ends up being more detrimental because the vet doesn't, know
Yeah.
what they're doing.
I've seen patients where they were being treated as if they were a ferret, or that was the most exotic medicine that the previous vet had done. So now you're having to start from scratch of, okay,
Mhm.
what did they give, how much did they give, how often, and now let's redo this whole thing, because now it created another medical issue that we now have to address. So
Mhm.
it's just better to do that. You can also reach out to your state's DNR wildlife rehab list, because those rehabbers, they have to know their veterinarians too.
Mhm.
So and that one, since that is state specific, it kind of helps a little bit quicker than Google. And you can directly contact those people and say, like, who's your vet? Who do you go to? Who do you recommend? Because odds are they know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good idea too. Yeah, the rehab, especially if it's something like wild or something
Mhm.
like that. Or I mean, do you guys get calls of just people with pets being like, "Hey, who would you recommend as a vet?"
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of those calls, and I'm like,
Okay.
this one, this one, this one, this one. Luckily, if it's a dog or cat, you can go anywhere. But
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
a little bit into those exotics, and
Mhm.
it's chickens from there.
Hmm. Okay. That's an interesting idea too. With the medical, when you kind of started, how was that with the vet, or kind of go into like more about when you started with the medical side of things?
So I started dabbling in the medical side whenever I unfortunately worked for an animal hoarder,
Hmm.
and it was not providing medical care for the animals at all, and I was in charge of working with the reptiles. And so I would bring medical issues to his attention, and mites, all types of fun stuff, and he would just ignore it and told me he didn't believe in veterinarians. They just want to use you for your money, all this stuff. And I was like, I'm sure there are some that do that, but most of the time, they're
Yeah.
in it because they want to treat this animal. So I started kind of dabbling into the medical side of, okay, what can I do? Like, I don't have an access to a veterinarian to come out. I can't take this animal to go take it to the vet. So what can I do home remedy wise
Hmm.
to help this animal, whether it be soaking, applying Neosporin, just something.
Yeah.
So it started from that perspective. And then whenever animals started dying and he still refused medical care, then it kind of transpired into, okay, I really, obviously we have a need for it in this area, for somebody who knows how to work with these animals and treat them medically, but also we need to get rid of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it led to court and got him shut down. The majority of the animals did pass away,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
The remaining few were sent out to sanctuaries and zoos and things like that. And then that's when I started jumping into working at different wildlife facilities, getting that experience. I went to Crow Wildlife on Sanibel Island, worked for them for a little bit,
Oh,
uh,
cool.
dabbled in Georgia a little bit, some in the Everglades, came back, and then just really went gung ho and got my wildlife rehabilitation license, had the DNR come out, inspect everything, and yeah, it's going. It's like as soon as I started dabbling in it, there was no stopping. It was
Yeah. Probably doors just started kind of opening where you could learn this. There's probably a lot to learn and there's a need for it. So,
Oh yeah. And that's my favorite thing though, is there's so much to learn. And every like at the end of each year, I always reflect back and I'm like, oh my God, look at how much I did. Look at how much I learned. Me last year, I didn't know how to do that. Look at this. So I think just also keeping that open mind that you don't know everything and you need to retain and take in that information, because it really is going to be life or death for an animal. And I love that. I love science. You just always have to learn, and I love it.
yep, that and the problem solving aspect of it too is very. I love that part of the medicine part of it, and the satisfaction of being able to heal something. You know, like I've had like a wound case I've been managing for the past couple weeks, and it's finally looking like it's starting to look really good. Like it's in an area where it's just hard to like treat. It's like one of those, you know, just kind of deeper wounds. But yeah, I've been cleaning it, debriding it, all of that, and it's looking really good. So it's just, it gets satisfying when you see something you're like, oh man, this doesn't look super good, and then
Yeah. Or if
few weeks and it's looking great.
or if you see those cases where you're like, oh God, that looks awful, I can't wait to fix it.
Yeah, that too. That too. It's just getting some confidence too, which is where I'm kind of at, is just, yeah, knowing like, hey, you have the training to do this. Just have a
Yeah.
little confidence and do that out. So, and you worked in the Everglades. That's kind of where I'm at now. Like I am in the Everglades down in
Okay.
Southwest Florida. How kind of go into that and describe your experience with that? I really want to go herping out here, but yeah.
Well, I didn't stay out there for too long. But the times that I went out there, obviously was looking for the pythons,
Mhm.
and I found one. I was awful at this. I was too busy. Like, oh, look at this, look at that. I was not. No, I didn't last. But I saw like some gators. I
Okay.
saw. Um, it it was a lot of fun. It wasn't for me per se, but it I think my favorite part was how they have the flashing like cougar warning signs, or the Florida Panther signs of
Mm.
like warning, warning, and then being out there in the middle of the night by yourself with
Oh
that sign.
wow.
That's always really fun.
Oh yeah.
My mom did not, but I I enjoyed it. Um, so it was. I'm trying to think like the best way to explain this time besides like I failed miserably at trying to catch the pythons, but I saw all types of different species, and having a headlamp was my biggest savior, and wearing the right footwear too. Don't wear flip flops. Don't wear flip flops. Um, and learn how to run pretty fast. I did try to go after the gator just to get a closer look, but I mean, he outran me, of course. Um, but yeah, I only spent like a week or so out there, but I quickly was like, this isn't, unfortunately, for me.
Okay. Just a very short limited. Yeah, I do really want to go herping
It,
out here
I
eventually.
do recommend it though, because like this was a couple years ago, but I still
Yeah.
remember it really well, and it was a fun time.
Yeah. It's crazy the wildlife out here. Like I have gators in my backyard. I've seen bears in my backyard. There's been some sightings of panthers. I have not seen one, but there's a sanctuary like place like 10 minutes from me where they're in there.
Okay, do you
So
hear that night?
I think they're pretty elusive. They're pretty elusive. It's kind of like rare. If you see them, it's like really rare. I think they're pretty. I don't know what their endangered status is, but I think it's pretty rare. But yeah, I don't hear them at the same. I don't think there's many even. It's just like a big. They've just kind of fenced it in where they kind of have some, but I don't.
Okay,
It's. I think it's still hard to see them in there. So
if
yeah.
it sits.
Yeah, I want to go there and look, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Have to see if they allow people in there. I don't know how many they have in there, but yeah, so pretty cool nonetheless. But maybe go into a little bit about what rehabbing is, in case some people maybe not know, or what does that kind of entail? Maybe what you specifically do with where you're
Yeah.
at.
So with like wildlife rehabilitation, you're essentially the middleman. You are between the finder, and then you're in between the veterinarian as well. So you are responsible for triaging that animal, getting them stabilized, and then from there deciding, okay, is this going to be a euthanasia case, or is this something where we can fix it, but it's just going to take some time? So it's really important to, get that experience and get that confidence and trust your gut and know what to do in that situation. I will say it's one of the hardest jobs because you are experiencing more death than anything else. You most of the time you are the last person that animal sees before they pass away. So it does take a toll on you emotionally, and it is really important to understand that you have to balance it. You have to learn how to say no and set those boundaries. And like with you and guitar, find something outside of it to kind of help decompress yourself and to bring you back down, because you're on high alert all the time. And it's crazy. I love it. I know I was meant to do this, and I'm very proud of everything that myself and some other rescues do in this area. But I feel like a lot of people dive in thinking, I'm going to save all the animals, I'm going to fix them all, when that's not entirely the case here.
That's 100%. And as a vet, it's the same way. Can't say, it's hard to get owners to really understand that. I mean, I'm more like in the research space, so it's a little different, but getting owners to understand that sometimes things just fail to thrive. I mean, it's like kind of I hate that answer, but sometimes we just don't, and we just don't know. And people are like, "What are you telling me? You went to school for all these years," and it's like that's animals in general. I mean, we know keeping them, breeding them, things happen that we can't always control. So I think just wrapping your mind around that helps, mental health wise, but it's still really difficult. I mean, as you've dealt with. So yeah.
And we talk about euthanasia all the time, and understanding what needs to be euthanized and what doesn't.
Yep.
And euthanasia is such a tricky topic, because little me used to be like, no euthanasia, no, no, no. But now I'm like, that can actually be the best gift you can give to an animal when you're doing everything and it's failure to thrive. It's just it's not working. They're suffering. And even if they do bounce back, are they going to have a good quality of life? So you have to be able to kind of, figure out if there is going to be a quality of life. And that's where the veterinarian, you need to have a trusted vet that can be straight up with you and be like, this animal is going to continue to suffer, and it's not fair, and it's selfish of you to keep them alive just for your own wants and desires. That's not fair.
Yeah, 100%. That's I got really frustrated with that in vet school, actually, dealing with the clients were, like, I can't. I had like a baby llama. It would have been like I forget the Korea, maybe that was another type. But anyway, a baby llama or whatever that would just seize like almost constantly, like all the time throughout the night. And this went on for like a week or so, because the owner just didn't want to euthanize it. And so I always get so frustrated with those type of cases in school where there's nothing you can really do. We're doing our best, keeping it alive, but the quality of life is just not ideal. And that's why I kind of went to the research space, actually, because I was so kind of fed up with dealing with that with my clients. I mean, well, now I have the total say, of that type of thing. So I always see euthanasia as kind of like a blessing, in that kind of sense, where they don't have to suffer. I think us as people, we anthropomorphize things a little bit too much, where we kind of instill our thoughts, and that may not always be the case with the animal. So
yeah. So I mean, it's rough no matter what. It's not for the weak, that's for sure.
Yeah. You have to be able to compartmentalize it. I'm still kind of working on that myself, on being able to, because I have email, I get emails all the time. It's just trying to disassociate from it for a little bit to kind of relax. And I still find myself, though, thinking about work all the time, as do you. So yeah.
I mean, we chose this field, and sometimes that's a small price to pay, but I'm a big fan of airplane mode on my phone.
Yeah,
I
not
will
disturbed. Yeah.
I will put an away message. Only certain people can contact me. Like, boundaries are key, or you're going to go crazy. You're going to have a mental breakdown, and
Yep.
it's not worth it if you're sacrificing your mentality for it.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's so easy to do with everything so digitally. People can get in touch with you anytime, so late at night, on you, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, there's no way besides just setting boundaries, I think, is what I've learned to do. And then also, yeah, as we discussed, doing things where I can kind of turn the mind off from it for a bit. So
Yeah, I have little games on my phone, which is it's like a double negative sometimes, because I'm like, oh, playing my game, but at the same time, if I get a message, I'm going to see it immediately and then respond, and I'm like, no, decompress. You are in timeout. You go over here. You don't play. You don't respond. Just play your game and dissociate.
Mhm.
That's what you need. So that
Mhm.
I need to start finding a different hobby, a different method.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. I said recently for me, it's been the guitar, um, and Rubik's Cube, actually.
Really?
Yes, that it's so addicting. I've left it alone for a few days. I need to get back into it, but my boyfriend's really into, like, he's kind of obsessed with it too. So he's kind of been teaching me how to do it, but there's like certain algorithms that you do, and it's also mentally, like, it takes so much focus to do it that I've become kind of addicted to it. Yeah.
More power to you. I don't think I have the patience for that, honestly. I just throw it after like 2 minutes. Like, nope, moving
He
on.
he can solve it, so he just tells me the algorithms and I just practice those, and I'm pretty close to getting to where I can solve it. I'm at the last kind of algorithm step or to do it. So hopefully in the next week I can solve it and be able to solve it at any time. So we'll see.
You'll have to keep everybody updated if you by the
I
next
was never
episode.
I was never really into them, but it's addicting. But I think people like hearing these type of things, like, if they're struggling with something, trying to look into hobbies or something to get their mind off of it, super helpful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's kind of a necessity.
Yeah. And well, with being so busy, it gets hard. Like, I never really had any hobbies or anything in like vet school or PhD or anything. I just didn't really have much time besides the reptiles. I mean, that was like kind of the only sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
But
oh, go
like,
ahead.
even then, whenever like you're doing all your vet school stuff, you're coming home and you're doing your animal stuff. So it's like da 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 all the time.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's a thing too. Yeah, is finding stuff that's also not animal related. Yeah, because
It's fun.
this can wear on you too. Breeding and keeping. If you have an animal die or get sick like that, I mean, that can affect you kind of negatively too.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah. So yeah. With what species do you commonly work with currently?
So, right now, I'm the only licensed individual in this area that works on reptiles and amphibians. However, the majority of cases I receive are turtle based, and that's the one I prefer. I like to say that is my specialty. I love fixing shells. I love trying to fix wounds. That's my thing. If it's been hit by a car, I want to see it because I want to take care of it. But I just got a garter snake the other day with mouth rot, so dealing with that one. I don't get a lot of snake calls. I think I've only done 3 this year, which is nice, compared to the 70 turtles I've done.
Holy cow.
Um, I've only done like one anole, like one lizard, which is a little disappointing because I love my lizards, but I get the most turtle calls, and that's how I like it. That's my wheelhouse. So, turtle galore in this place. Turtle galore.
Kind of go into like your step by step. Like, say you get one that is hit by a car and has like shell damage. What's the kind of like the protocol or steps that you do to assess and treat?
So it's crazy. The hardest thing is actually getting the turtle to me because I work full time at a vet clinic. Like, I can't always pick up and leave and go see it. So the first thing is trying to get that animal to me. That's been one of the trickiest things lately because life and cars. And So if I can at least get the animal to me, then like it's going to be a good day. The second step is I like to look exactly where the breaks are, like how severe is the damage. Is this just a crack or is this like a whole break? I can typically tell just by looking at them and looking at the severity of the break if this is something that can be fixed or if this is a euthanasia. Because the thing with turtles is after they've been injured, car, lawnmower, whatever, they stay alive for a pretty long time. And so if you see a turtle on the side of the road and they've been hit, odds are they're still very much alive, and it's important to grab them, bring it to somebody, even a vet clinic, bring it to somebody. They can at least put a Doppler on it and see where our heartbeat is, if it's still going on. And if it is, then we can help them move along. But I look at the severity of the break to see if it's even something I can fix. If it is something that I can fix, then I immediately give them pain meds. Pain management is extremely important to me. If they're in pain, I can't work on them like soundly without knowing that they are not in pain, because I'm moving shell and that's bone right there. That's so making sure that they're comfortable is top priority always. So I give that about 30 minutes to kind of kick in. It takes them a little bit longer to metabolize it, of course. So making sure they're nice and warm and they have time for those pain meds to kick in. And then I'll start moving pieces around to see if I can get it and see exactly the damage. If there is, if it is super open, then I don't try to fix the shell yet because I don't want to trap infection in there. So now, okay, let's throw in an antibiotic. So I'll throw in that. And then, okay, let's throw in a topical just so I can keep it covered. If there's fly strike, okay, let's remove all of the fly strike. So pain meds, antibiotic, topical, keeping them warm, comfy, in a secluded space, preferably lights off, just because it helps decompress. When you have that bright, beady eye, that can just intensify things. So trying to keep them in a dark, quiet place is the best part. And then kind of seeing exactly how that damage is starting to heal with the antibiotics and the pain meds. Okay, whenever that's kind of getting cleared out, then we can talk about potentially moving the shell pieces back. But top priority always is just making sure that they're comfortable. And if it doesn't require euthanasia, then okay, then it's going to be a fun waiting game. That's what we're doing, because they don't like to heal fast, unfortunately. So it's not a quick process by any means. Even the euthanasia process is not quick at all. It takes them, like, to be blunt, it takes them forever to die. Even with euthanasia, it takes them forever. And so it's frustrating whenever you can't fix it, and so you need to euthanize them, but now you're still holding them and it's not quick at all. And it's not for the weak. It's it's a lot.
It's
a lot.
What for payment usually? What's your typical go-to, like meloxicam, or is it a different? Okay, I didn't know with other if that was your. I think with reptiles, go-to was that, but didn't know if
you can do a tramadol, but I prefer a meloxicam.
Yeah, that's what I typically do, as well. I'm trying to think of it. I mean, I do like for other animals, carprofen and stuff too, but I feel like for the reptiles, it's meloxicam that I mainly remember.
Yeah, I've only had good experience with using meloxicam. I've had some people try to say like it didn't work for them. I personally have not had that issue. It's always been working for me. So I've just heard that can be controversial, but I've had good experiences with it.
Okay. And so just kind of focusing on getting the swelling infection down before putting like missed pieces back together and all that. Is there like a typical, like, this is just a curiosity question, like glue or some sort of like with the pieces when you do put them back to kind of solidify stuff, or no?
Yes. Well, everyone has a different method. I've seen so many different types, but the one that works best for me is actually using nail glue, like for your fingernails. And like attaching, I use like the back of the bra hooks and wire, and I'll put them in their spot and then use the wire and use the nail glue to just put down the fasteners to do that. But I don't actually put glue. Like, I've had people put glue in the womb with the shell, and I'm like, please don't do that. But I'm a big fan of using the nail glue and the fasteners and some wire as well.
I didn't think about the wire either. Interesting. So that keeps it like, and then over time, like, does it just like the bone in the shell, or I guess there's probably some keratin there too that will kind of like, I'm assuming, like solidify it together with the other piece. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it like slowly will fuse back. And I always put like SSD ointment like on that.
I love SSD. SSD is like, that's what I used on the wound one that I've been doing the past few weeks. It's like I found some and I was like, this is gold. I love it. Do you
use Manuka honey?
We've ordered some pads with the honey on them that are coming that will help. But Gluca, can you just buy, is it like literally a bottle of honey you can get?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm writing this down. What's it called?
It's amazing. Like, I make this little magic potion. People don't do this at home, please. I make this magic potion where on a turtle wound, I'll put the Manuka honey on there. I have my little Q-tip. I'll swirl it around, and then I put the SSD on top of it. Swirl it around, and then I put like a non-adhesive bandage on there, and I'll wrap them.
Interesting. I'm gonna look up because I think the pads that we just ordered have like Manuka honey on them, but if I would like to also just get it where I can just apply it like directly, because I mean with pads like, oh yeah, I see it. So CVS has Manuka honey. That's like wild to me. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to order some.
I know.
I'm going off on a tangent. Okay, well, this is like very helpful for the wound stuff, because like for me, like the pads, it's like they can be ripped off, they can be eaten, so it's like it's not typically.
And at least like it's not the worst thing in the world, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Well, cool. That helps too. The SSD cream is like.
I know. I'm like, if you don't,
what is it?
Get it. It's prescription based, so talk to your veterinarian about it, but get it.
There's a prescription. I've also kind of recommend over the counter for people like a sulfa. It's a sulfa cream, but it's like similar to the SSD cream. It's not totally, but it's similar enough where some mild stuff, like I think I had somebody with like a suspected burn case. They did the sulfa cream and it healed it. So that's also one that can help with minor stuff. Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, if you can't get it from your vet, try that, but just be mindful, I guess, of the ingredients, because whatever's in it, I'm not going to be liable for.
No, this was like a pet, so there's like no steroid component. That's the only thing where I kind of worried is like the steroid kind of component of it, but
okay.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Manuka honey.
That and then terramycin is always in my kit. Get some terramycin.
Terramycin's and so you just apply that onto wound stuff, the terramycin?
Terramycin's for eyeballs. So on all the eyeballs, and I'll put SSD on the eyeballs too.
SSD on the eyeballs. Interesting. Yeah. I just use the terramycin for the eyes. So that's what I was like, do you use it for others? Yeah, I just only use it for the eyes. Yeah.
Like in my kit, like the like holy grail, the holy trinity I have is the SSD, the Manuka honey, terramycin. Those are my go-tos. I love them. And oh my gosh, I have a cicada tortoise downstairs right now with eye issues, and I have terramycin and SSD on it. He looks like an alien right now, but let me tell you, it's gonna work. It's
funny. That's fun. I didn't realize SSD interesting for the eyes too, huh? Yeah, but just do the terramycin, because sometimes you can, in certain states, you can actually get the terramycin I use. You can get like on Amazon.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not like but sometimes it is where you have to, need a prescription, all that. But yeah, I've been able to kind of with some people have them do that, because you can get the PEP, the same one I use in the clinic online. So yeah.
Yeah. At least the ones I've seen. If I can't get it from my veterinarian, I can get it off of Amazon.
Yep.
Get away, bug. So that's just always good to have in your kit. for the eye issues. And then if you have like shed issues, I make something. It's called Rip Rub, and that you can. It also helps with like stuck eye caps. You can put it around the eye, and it'll help loosen that cap up as well. So I have that in my kit too.
Very cool. I think I saw this. Go a little bit more into that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's called Reptile Rub. I created it in 2018 after I encountered one heck of a stuck shed case on an iguana. She had so many layers of stuck shed, I couldn't get to the actual infection. And I was getting so pissed off with the little shed helpers you put in the water. Like, it just never did anything. So I put together a bunch of ingredients like coconut oil, honey, beeswax, and aloe vera as well. Made this concoction, and I've been using it ever since 2019, and it's sold in 2 pet stores, online, and at local expos as well, and a local rescue called Badgerland Reptile Rescue up in Wisconsin. They sell it at like NARBC, things like that. Wonderful people. And so basically it's designed for those reptiles that don't like to soak. They freak out. They get super mad if you try to do anything. So if you apply it with like a Q-tip on the problem areas, it'll help loosen it up, and it adds that extra moisture to help release it. So use it up to 3 times a week, kind of spread it out. That's how I like to use it. And it should absolutely help you out. I also use it as chapstick because it's amazing. And you can put it on shoes.
Wow. So it can be human. You can use it for, oh, wow. Cool.
And I've used it on dogs for like cracked noses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the foot pads too.
Yep.
I've had someone use it on a hedgehog to kind of help with like dry skin, and they've had good success with that. So I haven't dabbled too much in mammal, but I'd like to.
Super cool. I'm gonna have to look up. Where can somebody, like, if they wanted to get some, where would they get it at?
So I have an Etsy shop. I believe it's under JJ's Reptile World, but you can get it directly from there. Or if you're in this area in Southern Indiana, you can always reach out to me directly, and I can get it to you. There's also the Clarksville Reptile Expo. Anna, you can get it there too, and you can get it at Green Tree Pet Center as well.
Cool. Awesome. I've been to the Clarksville a very long time ago, but I was home for like vacation or something, or like a trip, and yeah, that was like a few hours from me. So I went to that show. Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, if you ever come back, let me know, and we'll go and we'll look at all the things.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. I don't know when I'll be back to Indiana, but might be a bit. But yeah, it was a fun show. Here's Amanda commented, "Nature is the best medicine." I mean, yeah, kind of definitely a lot of things that help are nature-esque, or kind of.
Yeah.
So
they say like honey is nature's natural band-aid. So absolutely.
Yep. Especially with like the prolapses and stuff like that too. So that's something people could get from CVS or something like that. Usually I make like a little like paste of if honey or granulated sugar or something like that, and make like a paste, and usually helps.
Yeah. I've had success with that. Sometimes those prolapse cases, they just don't want to go back in, and gotta bring them into the vet, and we'll make it go back in.
Yeah, suture. And do you guys do like a purse string suture, or is it something a purse string? Okay, that's what I was taught doing. So I mainly did on like pigs and stuff, but I'm assuming it's like a similar way.
Never done a pig, so that's.
You have a lot more surface area to work with, so it makes it and the skin is like, it's probably easier to suture, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because you got to get in between the scales, and it's a doozy, but it's a lot of fun, in my opinion.
What other interesting cases have you? This is like fascinating to me. So any other like things you've learned or picked up? This is like, it's just very cool to talk about this. So
we just like spayed a turtle.
Oh wow.
And we removed all the follicles and stuff. And we went like, here's the leg, and we went like in that skin area, like by the leg, like the inner leg. My words are not there today. And you go that way.
Interesting. So you don't have to go, because I've seen on another either YouTube or a show where there was some instructions. They had to go in, like they had to cut out a piece of like the shell and then go in. So no. Oh,
No.
fascinating.
We went to like the inner leg. I didn't have it right now. I'd show you, but like, yeah, you pull the leg out and that skin right there.
Yep.
We went in that way and we pulled it all out. It was really cool.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
We're how big of a how big of a turtle and what kind?
This was like a really, really hefty yellow belly slider.
Okay.
So it took us a while to actually get the eggs out because beefy. You're going through so many layers of fat, and then we found it. Oh, it's follicles, and we're like, wait, no, that's fat pads. Keep going, keep going.
Yeah. So you would just like pull it out, look at it, and take it out. That's what it. And if it wasn't it, you'd put it back in and then pull more out.
Well, we could, before we pulled anything out, like we made sure it was the right thing. But coloration of the fat pads was similar to follicles, so we were like, oh, what is that? And we're like, oh, no, that's fat. But then as soon as we saw the follicles, we were like, oh yeah, it's a bundle of grapes in a way. So let's take that.
But you're just pulling it out that hole you made in the leg, right? Like that's the only like kind of visual. Yeah, that's like, I'm trying to like visualize it. It's like
I'll send you some pictures.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to see that, just to be like, huh, that's super interesting. And then that makes it super easy to close the skin. Like you don't have to worry about shell or anything like that.
Yeah, and she hadn't been eating because of, pregnant turtles don't like to eat sometimes, and so the sooner we kind of had to really hustle on this one because she hadn't been eating in like weeks. So she's no soaking, no water. She's on a strict dry dock so that skin will heal up, and then we'll take out the sutures and make sure we're good to go. So that was really fun. It actually happened on Friday.
Oh, wow.
It was a fun time. But we've gotten, what else have we done? We were removing an abscess from the top of a snake's head. That was really fun. We had to remove part of the penis of a duck. So that was really fun too.
That's interesting.
Back in, so we had to take it off. So that was really fun.
Really cool too.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Yeah, I don't know. I love a good like ear abscess on a turtle. I love
like the debriding part of it. It's probably like pretty satisfying. Yeah,
I love like the pus. I love that stuff. Everyone gets so grossed out. I'm like, let me see it. Big fan of that. So anytime I get a turtle case that has an ear abscess, I'm like, oh yes, this is gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good day. Yeah.
So good. Or if their eyes, like the ones that have like serious upper respiratory infections, and so they have the coating on their eyes, and you push out that abscess.
Abscesses are fun. I like abscesses, pimples. I mean, I like that. Yeah, I like it's pretty satisfying. Mainly with pigs, because those are like huge, and so I usually had. I mean, some of those suckers are like, golf balls. So having to like cut it with a scalpel and then it just like shoots out
through.
In residency, I did a decent amount of those. You just get them, any sort of like abrasion on the skin, they'll sometimes get an abscess. There's no like really rhyme or reason to it, but some of them they get just real big and have to cut it, and then just so satisfying. Like clean it out. It's fun. So
I love it. It's Now I do get queasy on like eyeball stuff. I don't like dealing with eyeball stuff. Unless, like, I'm talking eyeball out. I cannot. Nope.
At that point, I'm just like, cut it out. At that point, there's only so much you can do with those, I feel like most animals live fairly well without an eye.
Oh, yeah. I have a box turtle that I use for education, and he's only got one eyeball. And he's like a little lopsided, but He's moving and grooving. He's fine.
Cool.
Same with like limbs too. People think, oh, they're missing, they can't be released. No, they can, and they'll have a great life. It'll take a little bit longer, but they'll get there.
Are there some residents that you just can't like release back into the wild that you guys have, or do you really try to just release anyone that you can?
So if they are eligible and they have proven that they can dig, they can climb, they can find food, then they can. With like if it's a female box turtle and she's missing a whole back leg, can't really release her because it's going to cause egg bounding. However, that shouldn't mean an automatic euthanasia. Some people do that. I don't agree with it. If they're missing both their back legs, then it's like, we'll see, kind of case by case. But there's been a lot of situations where rehabbers have euthanized a female box turtle just because they had a back leg injury. And I'm like, no, that's not necessary. I've spoken with my vet about it. She said that's not necessary. So, and in Indiana, they're protected. So to try and help the population is the goal here. I'm not going to euthanize just because there's a back leg injury. There's still a life that can happen. And if she does have the eggs, we know how to remove the eggs. We can try to incubate them. We can try and, continue on the species. But everything is a case by case. So typically if it's a female with the back leg injury, or they're missing a whole back leg, then they're deemed as non-releasable. Or if they've been in captivity for so long, because, they develop that home base within the first couple of their life. And so it's essential that the ones that I have that can be released, they are released within that 1 mile of where they were found. Always the goal. But if I don't know where they were found, and they're old, like they're kind of stuck at that point. If they're young, they can still kind of reset and make their own way, and find a homeland and turn it into their base. But the older that they are, you can't just put them out, or they're going to spend the rest of their life trying to get back to wherever that's at.
And is there like a certain, like releasing them close to where they were found, do you think that has any matter on like how long they've been rehabbed for, like, and then putting them back, like that they would remember, or does that you just put them back regardless? But do you ever wonder, if they've been rehabbed for a whole long time, if they would remember?
I believer in if they're an older turtle and where they were found, they have spent years on that land. They know that land, and if they're with me for a couple of months, they're still going to go back to that area and be just fine.
Okay. Interesting. It's super cool.
It's super tricky when people don't know.
Oh, yeah. If they don't know where,
they're like, oh, it's in this area, or they refuse to tell me because, well, I don't want that turtle in my yard. I'm not going to put them back in your yard, but I need to know at least the zip code. Can you give me that so I can get it in the general area?
Yeah. That's interesting too. Be pretty tricky, but very important. I mean, for them to thrive and everything like that, and be accustomed to the wild again and being put where they were found. So
that's the goal.
People like, in my yard, too bad. Like
right. Like, I'm gonna knock on the door. I'm coming to your yard.
What's like the this is actually brought up to a conference I was at, which is like very interesting with like rehabs and like sanctuaries. Like, what's the licensing or kind of process you go to? Because there's so many of them out there that like will come as sanctuary, but they're really not. They kind of do some for-profit so I don't know. I was at a conference I went to. I found it very interesting, that conversation about that. So I didn't know what your thoughts were on that too.
So each state is a little bit more complicated. I will say in Kentucky it's pretty easy. They want you to pass the IWRC course, the International Wildlife Rehabilitation Council course. It's a great course. I took it in 2019. Really, really informative and really good to have under your belt. And so after you get that, you need to find a licensed veterinarian that will work with you and work with wildlife, and they have to like sign off on your paper. And then a DNR conservation officer will come out and do an inspection, and then you're good to go. With Indiana, what I had to do was I showed them my IWRC certificate. I showed them a previous license I had working at a different wildlife rehab center. And I listed all my books, all my references, all my veterinarians. I had to pass an online test for them. And then and then a conservation officer came out and did an inspection. And then after that, and it was the first turtle house this officer had ever done. She's like, do you have any raccoons? And I was like, no. She's like, squirrels? No. Deer? Absolutely no. And she's like, oh, okay. This is really cool. What's this? What's that? And I'm like, oh my God, girl. So it's not a very common thing. So I think they were just really excited also to have somebody who can do something. So after that, turned in all my paperwork, got signed off, and then I had to wait. I think I got my paperwork a month later, like just validating everything, and then I could go in rehab and do my little thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting that state by state kind of.
I don't know. Like I know Florida's kind of a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty strict. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Probably so.
They've got a lot of regulations, and their euthanasia list. The last time I saw it was about like 3-4 pages long. Just everything must go. I don't know what it's like now. I'm basing it off of whenever I was there in 2018. I know it's a little bit more complicated, and it's definitely more regulated. People like to hide behind the word sanctuary and rescue. I think, luckily all of that stuff is supposed to be public, and you're supposed to be able to have access to those documents. Anybody who's a 501c3, you can see their documents, you can see all that stuff. So making sure you're going and you're fact checking that. They're also supposed to report annually of their income and where things go. There's supposed to be documentation. So those who are actually rescues, sanctuaries, wanting to take care of animals and do what's best for them, they have all those ducks in a row. You can tell if someone's a little on the shady side if, well, I don't have that paper, and I don't have this, and I don't have to prove anything to you, and blah, 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 and get super hostile about it. You want to make sure that they have all those documents, because it's it's the foundation to what you're doing. So it's really important to have that under control. And anybody should be able to go up to a table who claims to be a sanctuary and be like, do you have your paperwork? Do you have your EZ10? I forgot the number of it. Do you have that form or your nonprofit determination letter? Can I see that? And they should be able to show you right there and then.
Okay. That's helpful. I think and that's kind of what they highlight too, was the 501. It's the 501c is what, kind of shows where all the money movement and all of that. It sounds like that's what you're saying too. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's really important that it's going to what it needs to be going to. Because I promise you, nobody who's actually doing wildlife rehab, like, they're not making a salary. They're not making money. Like, it's funded by the community. Like, mine is funded mainly from my paycheck. The majority of my paycheck goes right back into what I'm doing. So nobody is really doing this for the money. So if you're noticing an influx of money in the organization, if it's not being reflected in like enclosures and care and certain like programs, then you should probably, investigate a little bit and see what's going on with that.
Yeah, people are good now. So I guess truth is, don't take everything at face value per se. Work with people, because people are very smart
most of the time, not all the time.
Not all the time, most of the time. That's
common
true.
Sense isn't that common.
Yeah. So, okay, that's a good take. I think that's pretty helpful too, just knowing what people have to go through in order to rehab and rehabilitate. Are there species that you legally can't take in?
So I know some of it's kind of a gray area. Like there's the ones that I just won't because I don't have the resources for it. And then, so anything that's like federally protected, I can't take. So birds of prey, no. I can help, get it from point A to point B. I do have that legal right. I have 24 hours. But I can't just, rehab it here. Any like birds that, which birds is it? The ones that migrate, I know those are protected. So any geese, can't really mess with those. I do have like my own ducks. So like if there's like a waterfowl situation, I can at least assist with it, but I won't take on. And I know with Indiana, they've been really cracking down on deer because of the chronic wasting disease. So I'm not in a chronic wasting disease positive area for now. But we are told if we find one, now this changes like every 6 months, so don't quote me on this. The last I heard was that if we find a deer, we are supposed to send it to specific deer rehabilitators that are not in the area, because right now I think the chronic wasting disease is up in the northeastern part of Indiana. So
I went to school. I went to school at Purdue for veterinary school, and
okay,
yeah, it was brought up the chronic wasting, and I feel like it was like up north. I
yeah,
remember at
but
that time.
there were some cases positive in Kentucky,
Hmm.
so everyone's like on guard about the deer.
Mhm.
The people who are in the positive area, they cannot take any deer unless it is from their area.
Hmm.
So it's something along those lines. And you can't have more than one or two of them. It changes
Yeah.
all the time. I just wait for the email to tell me. Um, and they're very particular about the raccoons, of course.
Rabies, and yeah, because they're like, I think in India, they're like the biggest source of rabies is a
Yeah.
raccoon. Yeah.
And there have been some positive cases of skunks lately too, but it's not super common. Like when I see a skunk, I don't think rabies,
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
me, but yeah, any rabies vector species, it's yeah. I'm very fortunate where I don't have to work with them. I'll help
Mhm.
other rehabbers with them, but I don't personally keep them on my property at least. But the DNR tends to be more focused on the raccoons and the deer. It seems from what I've noticed.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I know they were big into the chronic wasting disease when I was at school there. So I'm tracking that. And like when COVID happened, they actually found COVID in some deer populations, and that kind
Yeah,
of focused them to look into that too, which was interesting. I haven't heard much about it since then, but yeah,
I
interesting.
heard the COVID as much as like in cats or like big cats.
Yeah.
Um, but what are they doing? They wanted, I think the DNR was wanting people like hunters and people, if you find a dead deer on the side of the road, call it in so they
Hmm.
can test it because the chronic wasting disease is in the brain.
Yep.
So they need to take the deer and the head and find out if it's positive or not.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, very interesting. Yeah, it's like a prion. Last I remember, it was like a prion disease. Yep. So in the brain, so some brain. I've seen like pictures and videos of them having like some neurologic signs. It's pretty interesting.
Like the
Uh,
zombie-ish.
yeah, just kind of like cranial nerve deficits and um, yeah, just like not right. Looking at them the best I can describe it.
It reminds me of like those bugs that get hit with that parasite and then the parasite like eats the bugs and uses their carcass to move around. I
Oh
can't think.
yeah. Oh, strange. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
So
like
gross. Freaks me out, but I think it's cool.
this is a general question, not so much reptiles, but are there like do you ever see like a pattern with some species just doing well with rehab versus some that don't? Are you able to see is that like a thing or not really? Is this individual basis?
So I will say I personally hate rehabbing cottontails because they love to die. That is their favorite thing to do. You can do everything perfectly and they will just die. So I hate cottontails. I will refer them out before I deal with one because I know I'm setting myself up for heartbreak, so I don't even bother. And then painted turtles. Like painted turtles don't respond to treatment well. I'll do the same method with a slider, with a snapper, with a box turtle, and they'll be fine. But a painted turtle, no, they don't want it. They don't want to be helped. They just want to die. So that's based on my experience. Painted turtles, no. And cottontails, no.
Interesting. I mean, rabbits in general are just, yeah. I've just dealt with them on like a pet level. Like they're always, I would not want to be like a rabbit vet. Like they
No.
just want to die.
Yeah, shout out to people who do have rabbits and they love their rabbits and they take care of them. Like, good
They're
for you.
cute.
But like, if you're interested in getting a rabbit, don't. The amount of medical issues I see when it comes to their teeth, when it comes to all types of stuff, like, unless you've got some monies, like, that's what it's going to take care of these guys because they just love having medical issues.
Yeah.
And they suck under anesthesia. Like,
yes, I've had them under anesthesia before, and it's like not.
Have you had a guinea pig under anesthesia?
No.
God. Or a rat, like a guinea pig or a rat.
Yeah, rats. I've done I've done rats and mice actually. Oh, quite a bit. Mice just minors. You can get by with minor stuff. Sometimes just injectable, like lays them out long enough. But I have put them like under like a nasal cone with isoflurane before, and they seem to do pretty well. I just have to watch like the levels, and obviously like the age of mouse has a big deal with it too. But I haven't had too much issue. But again, I haven't had them under for very long, like just for short procedures. So
right, yeah, we've done a couple mass removals, and like those are my issues, mainly guinea pigs.
I haven't done too much work with them.
Gosh, don't. Don't do it. They are a pain in the butt. And in general, it's tedious work. It is very tedious work. But guinea pigs, they just really don't like to breathe. They don't like to make it. And it's very frustrating. It's not always the case, but it happens more frequently than I prefer, personally. And I just don't do it. Do a slight happy nappy, and that's it. Don't go super crazy, completely under if you can help it. It's just, I've got like a certain beef with animals that want to go under anesthesia. No, don't do it.
Yeah. I've never really dealt with guinea pig. I don't think I will. No, I don't think I will. But I don't think I haven't, and I won't. So yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. No offense to guinea pig people. I'm so sorry. They're cute with the wee and all this stuff. But no.
Cute with the wee. Oh, birds too.
God.
I've not really dealt much with them under anesthesia, but they scare. I haven't worked with them much at all, but they scare me with medical stuff. So I'm like, if I cannot deal with that, I will not.
Birds. There's not enough bird people. I will say that. We do need more bird people. Especially for the tiny songbirds. Like, need the people. But no. Have you ever done fluids on a bird?
I have not, but I cannot imagine, like, I don't know, I've drawn like blood on them, but like just trying to get like finding veins and stuff like that, like no. But are you mean fluids like sub-Q fluid, IV fluid? Yeah. Nope, neither of the I feel like it'd be hard though with the feathers and everything. I don't know.
So
their skin's like really thin.
You use like the inner upper, like kind of like with the turtle, the inside of the leg. I don't know the word to use to describe that. I'm so sorry. But the bird, you pull out the little leg and the little crevice right there, the little triangle. That's what you put fluids into.
Okay.
And it's stupid because they're so small, and you're like,
yeah.
push it down, and it's so frustrating. I've heard some people do it with like their eyelids, but I've never personally done that, and that terrifies me because I don't want to be near their eyeball. I don't want anything to do with their eyeball.
That's funny. I can imagine. I think they did too, yeah, with the leg and vest. I remember getting blood like from the jugular and stuff like that, and I couldn't really do it. It was too hard.
Nope. I have mad respect for bird people because it ain't be me.
Yeah, no, couldn't be me. I'll do the reptiles. I may get one as like a pet. I do like the little cute little parakeets and stuff like that, but not medically.
No.
Oh man, I aspire to be a bird person. My boyfriend is slowly converting me. He's super into birds, and so he's been kind of like converting me over to the bird side of things. Where I'm like, I'm not. I don't know. He showed me one of like a parakeet yesterday. And I was like, okay, fine. This is like really cute. But I'm really into like color, and my favorite color is like turquoise. Of course, there was like a turquoise parakeet. I'm like, this is the most prettiest bird I've ever seen. I was like, okay, but
you should look at an ecliptus.
I've seen though. I've looked into those. I would just feel bad with like working so much, having one that needs like all the time, and they're pretty loud. I think too. I think maybe more or less. I had a green cheek conure actually for a bit, but I was in an apartment and just like no, just with I had like dog and cat and like it like flew one day, but it flew like right to the ground, and then my like dog went after it, and then I had to like take it to the ER. It was like fine, it lived. It just had a little teeny tiny wound, but like after that, I was like, okay, I cannot like do this in an apartment because I can't lock it away, right? Then I would feel bad. It was just too much for the apartment, but I did like that bird, but
yeah.
But yeah, if I got one where it was like, oh, if they had like a buddy where I could hang out with them for a bit and not have to give them like 24/7, then maybe. But I would feel bad about, not giving them the attention, dealing with dog and cat that would try to get them.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did like the conures quite a bit. So
more power to you. Can do it.
Let me see if there's any questions. We're like an hour, like 15, so we can start like wrapping up here in a little bit. Try to think. Like those were kind of the cases I was just super really interested in. Is there like in all your years of doing this, like one single case that has kind of stuck with you? Like the biggest kind of success. I know we see of all the failures, but there's like one success story that just when you think about it, it just kind of makes it exciting, or like you're like, oh, this is why I keep doing this type of thing.
So I have one, but he hasn't been released yet. He'll be released in the spring. But I'm very proud of how far he has come right now. He was found. This is an eastern box turtle. He was found in Kentucky. And I believe it was either a lawnmower or a car. I can't remember exactly. But the backside of his shell was half off, and there was a missing part like above his tail that was missing completely. And so whenever I first got him, he smelled horrible. And I thought, whenever I looked at him and moved the shell, I thought like his intestines and stuff were coming out. And then whenever I looked closer, it was just a ton of maggots. And I was like, that's got to go. That's not intestines. So, got that all cleared out and fixed and got him on antibiotics, pain meds. And then I fused that part back. So So I had to kind of do it in sections. So the first part has fused, and then the second part is in the process of fusing, and then he has that missing part, and like that's just got to kind of grow back on his own. Can't really do anything with that. I thought about doing 3D printing, but I thought that's just going to push that up, and it's going to cause too many issues. So he's doing so great, and the people who found him, they have been keeping track and like seeing all the updates, and they've been sending like little care packages to him, and they want to be there for his release. So it's a really good feeling because I wasn't sure about this guy. I was like, I gotta put butt back together, and like if his butt doesn't go back together, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But he's doing really good, and I'm very excited for him to be released, and also just watch the faces of the people who found him in the first place. You know, watch him go and start his next chapter. So that one sticks out right now.
Yeah, that's super cool too. Maggots, man, more power to you
Love
with that.
Love it.
That revolts me a little bit. Yeah, I haven't really dealt with much of it, but yeah, that I'm like, I have a pretty strong stomach, but when it comes to those guys, I'm like, no.
I love a good maggot case. I love it. It's so fun.
I love a good maggot case.
Just pluck away. I'll spend like 2 hours just plucking.
I guess it's pretty satisfying though once you, and they are kind of like, I mean, they are cleaning like the dead, like necrotic.
They are.
Stuff. So I mean, they are doing a service. I try to think about that.
Yes, I try to give them grace, but after a while, I'm like, time's up, because now you're going to start eating the really important things that I need. So if I see it, odds are, especially if they're already hatching and moving, they've been there for a while. So then at that point, my goal is I'm looking around, seeing exactly what they've done. And if I start to see like healthy tissue and healthy skin, I'm like, all right, eviction now. You got to go. And
Okay. It's probably different for every case of how long that typically takes. Okay, so there's not like a general that you've seen. Okay.
But like fly strike, immediately remove. Like I have no patience for fly strike. And if you get it wet, they hatch. So you have to like scoop them out. It's like little rice. And you just, it's fun.
Fun. People listening to this will probably be like, what the?
I know. They never want to hear from me again.
No, but this is what I mean, I don't know. We're all kind of, I feel like kind of weird like that we like stuff like that that the general public maybe like. I guess it's kind of a question I had too. Over the years of doing this, have you seen the public's perception of reptiles change like in a positive way, like with dealing with the public, or what's your take on that? Like
for the
taking
most part,
everything.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
So it's been really fun, like getting to talk to the people who find these animals and just tell them like, thank you so much for actually caring enough to call and do something. Most people don't even do that. But also like, just so you know, they can feel this. A lot of people think that turtles, especially, they can't feel on their shell. So just kind of doing the education, and then whenever I'm talking to people, they start really getting intrigued, and then they want to get involved and they want to do their part. And I'm like, perfect. Please do. Please help. Like, please give me a call if you find another one. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Facebook. I don't care. Let them know, because the more turtles that we can get in here and more reptiles, the more that we can help them, because the stigma is ridiculous.
Right.
Animal control has been doing really well lately in my area with giving me a call if they find something, or they have a case or an animal that they've never dealt with before, and they're like, what would you do? And I'm like, bring it over. Come on over. Let me fix it. So I think just getting the word out in general, like there are people that can help. That's an exciting thing for them. And then also just teaching them what they can do, what their part can be to helping wildlife. So if someone isn't available, okay, then they know what to do to kind of help this animal along. So I've luckily been having a lot of positive reactions to it. A lot of people wanting to help and get involved. And it's very heartwarming when it's towards a species that typically gets all the hate, all the judgment, and people just don't want to deal with them. They'd rather kill them than help them. So it's been really good this year.
It's good. That's awesome. That's good to hear that it's kind of moving in that direction. Is one thing I thought interesting with like the Zootopia movie, actually, surprisingly, yesterday I had a pretty positive light with the reptiles. Like it was kind of reptile focused. And so it brought them in like one of the main characters was a blue and Solaris pit viper, which is like interesting. That was just super cute and just had as a positive, like this is what we need. We need more like in the, in that movie's like think it's one of the most bringing in the most money like this year in the first like couple weeks. I saw something about it this morning, the first like couple weeks. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool that, you know, a lot of people are going to see it and maybe even shift it over, you know.
I need to go watch it.
I really liked it. It was super cool. I like the and it brought up podcasting too. There was a cute little like beaver that did like a reptile podcast, and we just looked at each other and he's like, "That's you." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." I'm the beaver about the reptile. It was super cool.
Dang. Called you out.
Yeah. Super cool. So kind of one of the last questions kind of fishing up is, you know, a lot of us listening are keepers and breeders, but what can we do to help with, you know, reptile rehabbing and all of that if we find something?
So I think being familiar with your resources, I think get on your DNR list, see who your local wildlife rehabbers are. It should list on there who works with reptiles. Get to know them. Like, it can be kind of scary and kind of a gatekeepy community, but I promise you there's plenty of people who aren't like that. And if you reach out, ask them some questions or ask them how you can get involved in your state. I'm sure that they would love that, even if that's just transporting, because my God, I don't know why that is like the biggest obstacle, especially this year, but transporting an injured animal or knowing how to triage in that case of, okay, I found an injured reptile. What do I do? They can definitely help guide you with that. They can also help lead you to an exotic veterinarian as well, in case you don't have one nearby that you know of, or maybe the one that you have isn't of quality that you want. They can at least provide more resources to find a perfect veterinarian for you, because having medical care is so essential and so important. Please don't try to do everything at home, because you can do more damage. And the amount of cases where I'm fixing human error is insane. So if you can't find an exotic vet, at least reach out to somebody so they can at least help you and guide you towards somebody who can actually help and treat your animal.
Perfect. All right. Super helpful. Hopefully everybody listening can get on and find, you know, the DNR and yeah.
And if you need help with that, you can message me and I'll track it down for you.
Okay. That'd be super helpful. Yeah, I put your in the description below a couple links. I think I put the sanctuary one as the main link. Or I think I can put your personal one too. I can go back and edit it. That way they can reach out with questions. Any other way people can reach out, or how can they support the sanctuary and all that?
Yeah, so you can reach me. There's Facebook at the Kentuckiana Scaletuary. There's Instagram, KY Scaletuary. I have YouTube. I don't really post on there, so maybe don't go on there. It's old footage. I also have a personal Instagram called JJ's Reptile World. You can always see me there. Any of those is going to lead to me in one way or another. So if you choose one to the message, you're still going to get me, and I can help you with whatever your issue you may have.
Awesome. Good to hear. Awesome. So really excited. So yeah, put those in there, and people can reach out, support. And I had a great time. I learned a lot. It was super fun just being able to connect like on the vet, like kind of science, their, you know, medical treatment was a lot of fun for me. So yeah.
I love geeking out.
Yeah. Love to have you for round 2. If you know of anybody else, I think it'd be fun too, having like, I want to do more panels where, you know, multiple people. So yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'll send you some pictures of those turtle eggs.
Yeah, I want to see how the heck they did that. Like, I'm trying to picture it, but some pictures would be helpful. So yeah, put the banner. I'm gonna do some commercials. I'll take you off the screen, but you're free to go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and it was really awesome talking to you.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you guys.
All right, bye, Jordan. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tapping in. I'm going to play a couple of these commercials here, and hope you guys have a good Sunday.
Sorry for the interruption, folks, but a quick word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Devin.
I'm Teresa, and we are MORPH. We are based in Czech Republic, a small country in the middle of Europe.
We really love animals that revolve around multi-recessive projects, and one of our very favorites is Hypo. We're really looking forward to clutches that are coming this season, and some of those are Hypo Clown, DG Clown, Hypo DG Clown, and one of our all-time favorites, Hypo Puzzle.
Hope you enjoyed the next episode on Trap Talk, the greatest reptile network in the world.
If you guys want to see next level cutting edge ball python projects, please make sure you head over to their Instagram to follow all their amazing work, and head over to their website to see what they could possibly have available by heading over to progmorphs.com. Thank you again, Devin and Teresa, for bringing some of the biggest heat worldwide in the ball python game. If you want to be organized, if you want to be cutting edge in the ball python game, then you don't want to miss this. Shout out to today's sponsor, and that's Clutch, #1 ball python organization app in the game. No better place to start off than by using this app. Clutch is an organization app that helps you organize all your ball python projects. It also helps your peers and your fellow community members look at what you possibly have coming for the upcoming ball python season, what you have currently available on Morph Market. It's so awesome to be ahead of the game by using organization app like Clutch. Thank you so much, the entire Clutch team, amazing team over at Clutch. If I were you, I would head over to Clutch's Instagram account, and I would also head over to their website, try it out, see how it works for you. But especially if you're just now coming into this, before you build your reptile collection, I would do it organized, and I would do it with Clutch. Thank you, Clutch, for being so amazing. Excited to hear what Clutch has to bring in the near future. Cheers.